Hello and welcome to Scalemodeling, and welcome to part 6 of our Tamiya Tyrrell P34 6-wheeler 1/12 scale Formula 1 car build. So here we are, where we left off in the last video is now we're working on step 17, which is the injection system. I'm in the process of taking off all the parts. Here's where our rails here for the air tunnels or funnels as they call them to go on. Just attaching this bit on here because this is going to be painted silver, well, not silver, aluminium like the rest, but the chrome parts for the center I'll put step 17 up in the corner. You can see yeah, step 17. So we've got all the bits off for the distributor, except I haven't cut any of the tubing yet, the leads, and just doing over for the left and right throttle plates. Yeah, so this kit comes with plastic, those tunnels, air tunnels on the thing, or there's metal ones here, which are going to look much better. So we're going to be definitely using those. But we can't put them on yet because we've got to do a bit of painting first. Same with constructing all of this together. Most of it will be the aluminium color, but there are a couple of pieces that are going to be the black. So again, please, thank you for joining again. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Hit that notifications bell so you get notified of videos as they come out each week. And don't forget, your comments are welcome. Please comment down below and give us a thumbs up at the end if and when you like the video. So we've still got the decal is pretty much finished on that piece of bodywork around the cockpit that we did in the last video, and it's ready to be sprayed with the 2K. So looking forward to that, because then we can continue on with all the other steps that we've skipped because we needed to get that part finished and on the car to progress with things like the roll cage and so forth. All right, so yeah, I'll get sorted and we'll be back in a second. Hey, welcome back again. Just waiting on these parts to dry. This is for the distributor, yeah, for the injection system. So let that dry. In the meantime, I've been taking off the, well, these are actually spark plug leads. There's 4 of those pieces off. The lengths, I'll put that up in the corner there for step 17. It shows you the lengths to cut them. We need 4 at 140 millimeters, which are those, which I cut first because I just wanted to be sure there was enough to get the last one here, which is a 40 millimeter one. That's the main one that goes from the coil to your distributor cap. And we still had a bit left over, which I'm not sure if that's going to be needed further in the build, but we got enough for this. There's also clear one, which I haven't cut yet. This is for the fuel line. So we need they're 50 mil pieces, and we need, I think it's going to be 8 of those. Just checking. 50 mil, yeah, there'll be 8 of those. So each carburetor, which is what you see up there, there they are there, that each one of those carburetor nozzles will have a hose connected that's 50 millimeters long, and that will run back into the other part, the other end of this distributor. I'm sure we'll get this tangle of wires through somehow. If I go down to step 18, we'll put that up in the corner for you to have a quick look at. That gives a map of what to follow when you're putting these on. So on the right, we've got the left and right of these two for the carburetors. And then the piece down in the center with your distributor and all your wires coming off, they all seem to be coming out one end and going out to the spark plug points on the top of the engine. And then the fuel lines seem to curve out each side with 4 lines. It looks like 4 lines each side running up to each carburetor. Not too bad, I think. Anyway, I'm going to continue on and keep going at this, and hopefully we won't have a spiderweb mess of things. Okay, all right. Oh, and yes, I've done these. These have come up really nice. They're painted up. Very good. And there's our little metal, although they must be aluminium because they're very light. I know they're not plastic, but they're cast aluminium, and yes, they do fit. I've checked them, so, and they look better than the plastic, that's for sure. All right, excellent. I will continue on back shortly. Okay, back again with a bit of a progress update here. So here we are, our distributor and coil. It's all glued, it's all in position. All these are supposed to be bunched up like that, so that can be like that for when we fit it, and then all the leads will go out to their locations on the top of the engine. Quite simple to do, just follow the directions. You get it right. These just loop through and out, make sure they're all the same length. I'm assuming that you trim them as you go, as they reach over to different various lengths along the engine. And now we're up to what's scaring me a little bit is the fuel lines attachments, which we've got these parts here for. And there's one there, and this one here, like that. And this is what the fuel lines are going to attach to. There's our fuel lines, clear ones here. These have to be cut 50mm lengths, and we need just 8 of them. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but if it goes like that, we'll be fine, no problem. So I will press on, and we'll get back with the next bit of progress shortly. Okay, back with another quick update. So there's our fuel lines. We've got sort of 4 going out that way, 4 going out that way, and again, went on quite easy as well. No problems at all. I'm a bit concerned about attaching them to there, but that's another story. So that's done. I'm going to go ahead now and attach all these funnels onto the top of these, and that will put us in a position where we can start putting them down on top of the end, put all this down on top of the engine. Okay, so again, back shortly with a bit more progress. All right, back once again. There we go. All our fuel lines are on, all our spark plug leads are on, and it's looking good. Not a problem at all, just a little bit tricky feeding it through, but with a pair of tweezers you can do it, no problem at all. It's all good. So now I'm going to put these on. Okay, so all these air tunnels, as they're calling them, will get placed on, and then that will complete both step 17 and 18. And we'll be able to turn the page, but we'll come back quickly and have a look after I put these on. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, there it is, completed. All the air funnels along the top there, all the carburetor intakes. Well, it's fuel injected, so yeah, I don't think they have carburetors, but yeah, looking good. I'll put some photos up there in the corner, a couple of pictures I took of it, so you can see better. And yeah, looking pretty good. So that completes step 17 and 18. I'll put step 19 up in the corner there. And what we're doing now is the gearbox. So this engine can go put aside for a moment, and we'll start work on the gearbox. And that goes on to the disc brakes for the rear, some suspension arms, quite a bit before we actually come back to the engine again, because basically the whole gearbox has to be connected up to this. But that's about 4 steps away from where we're at. All right, let's get on with putting the gearbox together. I'll get some parts off the sprue and we'll take a look at what we got to do. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, welcome back. So there's all our parts for this, and they beautiful detail in these. Look at that, amazing. There's like a little radiator there, very crisp pieces, no flashing at all, just cut them up, cut them straight off, and they're fine. Look at that. So all of these parts, except this one, all that's going to be painted gunmetal. So they're going to be gunmetal grey, and that one won't get painted because that doesn't get glued in. That's like a, you know, a shaft in the center there that probably something's going to run through that and turn. This part here, which is the only piece that is painted aluminium. So I'll be able to put most of this together and paint it as one piece, except for this bit and this bit which connects to it. I'll just paint them up separately. All right. So we'll paint this up, undercoat it, put the Outlaw Paints on there, and we'll see how she looks. All right. I'll be back shortly with this, and it should look nice. Back in a sec. Okay, welcome back. So I've got those parts painted in the gunmetal grey. That looks fantastic, that gearbox. When it's dry, I'll bring it back out here and we'll put it together. It looks really good. In the meantime, we're ready to diamond clear, 2K clear this panel here. So here it is. It's been there for a day. The decal is well and truly set, and we're pretty much ready to give this a coat of 2K so we can attach this to the vehicle and then go back and get all of this stuff put on, which we couldn't do until this was attached. Okay, now there's all our parts, mixtures, instructions, everything we need here. A little container to mix it in, and yeah, fantastic. So take note of what that looks like now, and what it's going to look like when I bring it out next. Hopefully it's going to look like absolutely beautiful finish. Okay, I will get on to this and back shortly. Okay, back again, and there it is. There's our gearbox all done in the gunmetal with the aluminium plate in between the housing there. Look how nice that is. That's come up beautiful. Really happy with that. So that we'll put that aside because we don't go back to that until step 21. What I'll do now is I'll put up step 20 up in the corner there, and we're doing the rear brake discs. Now, all of that, as you can see there, is pretty much what we did doing the front of the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put those all together off camera, and then we'll come back and we'll move on to step 21, which is moving back and working onto this and fitting the left and right rear brake discs. Okay, and also I've just done the 2K Diamond 2K Outlaw Paints on that body panel, and literally 5 minutes ago. So I'll give that an hour to harden and set properly, and I'll bring that out and we'll have a look at that, because that can then go on the car. So looking forward to that. We'll be back in a second. Well, for me, for you, it'll be a second. For me, it'll be a little bit longer. Back shortly. Hey, welcome back, everybody. So here it is. Our clear coat is on. Look at that. Beautiful. Really super happy with that. So this is ready to put on the car, and I shall begin doing that. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, I shall return. Okay, so there's the two rear brake discs done. They come up really nice. Quite simple, no problem. Yeah, it went together well. So they get put aside for a moment, because now that's step 20 done. On to step 21 is actually attaching the rear brake discs, but there is a piece we've got to put together first, as you can see up in the corner. Yeah, so there's some brackets of some sort. It looks like, oh, it's the calipers. These are brake calipers. Not sure. There's a bit of photo etch involved. Looks like it goes on the end of the gearbox and transmission. Yeah, but there are also brake calipers to go on there as well, the photo etch. And okay, so I'll get these parts off and ready, and then we'll come back when we're ready to put these all on. Okay, back shortly. Okay, back again. Just showing these parts on step 21. There's these two tiny bits of photo etch you can just see there. Sorry about the light. They're very, very delicate. You can see through them. They're like little grills, and you really need to use something that's going to dry clear. I'm using this photo etch clear glue, which I've used before, watered down, kept in a little bit here. I'll apply that with a tiny little toothpick or something. Now it's going to go on here, which I can take this off now. I just clamp these together. See? So now this piece can be put together, and then this piece actually slides, get this right, into those two slots there, like that. And that's how that goes together. But these are different colors, all right? So the top part is going to be, what do we got? Gunmetal. I'm going to do this gunmetal. I'll paint that separate. And this is gloss black with the grill on, which we've got to put on first. So the grills are going to go pretty much, I haven't tried this yet, but should be okay. Simply down on top like that. Okay. And seem to fit okay. Yeah. And like I said, I'll be using this to glue it down so it dries completely clear. Be one on each side. Okay. All right. I will go ahead and do that, and back to do some more. Back soon. Okay, we're back, and while I got those brakes all drying, we've gone back to step 13. Here's our body part that we've been waiting to put on, all clear coated, and now it's just a matter of popping it down on here. Let's see how this should fit in here. There we go. Yep. That's it. All right. Test fit is successful. Let me just check to make sure that is, yep, that's where we want it. So that's where I'm going to glue it. All right. That came up nice. I did put the hole through there. I put a pin through and made the holes in there. And when I do the canopy around the cockpit, I'll make sure that the pins are just trimmed back a little bit so that they just sit in there without putting any pressure up against the decal, and it should be fine. Otherwise, yeah, that's great. So I'm going to glue that down, and then we can start putting on some parts that we couldn't put on before. There's a couple of bits of photo etch that go down in there, or plastic, but there's photo etch pieces that go on the back here as well. In fact, we can do quite a bit from both step 13 and 14 that we didn't complete before. All right, so I'm going to glue this down now. Yep, confident, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the panel is on, went down nice, no problem at all. Beautiful fit all the way around, looking really good. So now we need to put some parts on. So first we've got these two little bolts that go on here, or little latches, and two latches that go on the back there. I'll put those on, and then I think that's all that I left off. That's on there. Yeah, everything else is there. So that this will complete step 13, and then we can go on to step 14 where we work on the roll bar, the back, and the braces for it. Okay, so yeah, I've already just did a quick test fit of these little fellas here. Let's just going to sit in there, and then we're going to put one in here, no problem, and then these will go in there as they perfectly fit. Excellent. All right, I'll glue them in and we'll be back in a tick. Okay, so I'm just doing a test fit. I've put the roll bar in the side, in the back here, and then it's lined up perfectly with the panel that we waited to put on because it connects into that, and that's fitting in there spot on. And then the two struts that go up, again, no problem at all. And then we have the this oil reservoir, which goes on the back here, and that's just gonna, there's a couple of points, it should just sit pretty much in there like that. There you go. All right, I'm not too sure where that lead is supposed to run. I'll just check on that, see where that's going to go before I put in. But anyway, there you go. That's going to look fantastic. Yeah, I know you can't see too much from that angle, but put it back like that. There you go. All right, looking good. Okay, I will glue this and be back in a sec. Okay, so there it is. Finished step 13, 14 and 15. Got everything on the back there. All cool's there. Wasn't sure about that hose, still not sure, but I can move it wherever it needs to go. Yeah, there you go. Everything's good. All right. Now we'll just sort myself out here and we'll get back to where we're actually up to. All right, back in a sec. Hey, back again. So waiting for parts to dry for part step 21 with the attaching the rear brakes. So we'll wait until they dry. We'll move on to step 22. I'll put that up in the corner here. And most of these are on the G sprue, which I've got here in front of me. This is the suspension arm. Okay. So, and there's some air ducts as well that go on. So most of this is all painted gloss black, although there is some that's just black, not gloss black. So I'll have to sort that out. And then over on the other side of there, there's some bits that go on the side of the transmission. So that's what we're working on here at the moment. And they're aluminium, I think. Yeah, aluminium. Right, so lots more detail and important bits. So once again, I'll take these parts off the sprue and yeah, we'll put together what I can. Looks like I can put all of that suspension arm there all together. The bits that are just X1, which is just black, yeah, it looks like the whole thing is, so I can paint that black. Then I can do gloss black. I can paint the air ducts. There's a left and right of those. That can be done after it's all put together, so that makes it easier. And then the other bits, they look like also the aluminium bits can also be sprayed once they're all together as well. So good, we'll make a bit of progress here. Okay, I'll be back and see if I have any problem along the way. If anything pops up, we'll cut in and address that. Okay, thanks. Back soon. Okay, so got all these parts off. I've actually connected them together too, so they're all ready to paint. There's the vents that we had to do, air ducts, and all that is all good. So they're ready to paint this part here as well. All good to go. The other parts will be dry now from step 21, which is part of the braking system. So while I go paint them, we'll bring back the other parts and get those brakes on the transmission. Okay, we'll be back in a sec. Okay, back again. Now we've got our transmission out. We've got all the parts that need to go onto it, including our discs, the brakes, and it's time to put it all together. So I'll do this, you can watch me do this. I'll do it over a time lapse and yeah, watch it all come together. So let's go, all right? Okay, so there we go. Discs are on. They turn, which is good. Slide between the brake shoes there. Yeah, very good. Looking nice. Little radiator down under there. Must be cooling it. Fantastic. Okay, so now we just move down to next. That's step 21 done. Step 22, which is all those suspension arm parts that I painted with the air ducts, and they should be about dry now, and they get put on here. On the back here, we have some parts go on, and on over here somehow. It's just cooling for the brakes by the looks of it. Yeah, and there's a piece that runs underneath here as well. That was the bit we did in aluminium. So I'll go get those parts, and we'll start putting them on. Back in a sec. Okay, welcome back. So I ended up putting all those other parts on off camera. It was quite technical, to say the least. Getting these parts to line up was quite tricky. The vents, the instructions don't really show you where to glue them, and I was just concerned that gluing where I glued them means that these discs won't turn. So now they don't. So hopefully that doesn't mean the wheels don't turn if they're supposed to. I'm not sure, but they glue onto the calipers. That's the only spot they can glue. And then of course the bracket here connects onto the vent on each side. So that sort of brings it all into line. But then this piece here that we did in the black needs to go on there and also attach to those brackets, as well as line up inside the gearbox there. Quite tricky. This piece went on, not a problem. There are 2 connection points on the back here that need to be put in first before you attempt to push it in the bottom there. But you'll figure it out if you're doing this. I did actually break this off trying to push that on. I've just glued the back on. It's no problem at all, so it's all good. So that is step that's it. That's step 22 done. Okay, now we're going to finish up the video here because we're getting up to the time limit mark. In the next video, which will be part 7, we'll actually attach this to the engine itself. A quick look at step 23 I'll put up in the corner there. You can see that it goes onto the engine gearbox, and there's a couple of bit of hoses that go on there, and then we've got a few other little brackets that go on around the back here. If you put it that way around, they're going to go on here. That'll be in the next video. So thanks a lot, guys. Please hit that thumbs up if you like the video. Your comments are welcome below. Don't forget to catch me on Friday on the live stream, and we can meet up and chat and talk about this and other models and anything else that pops up. And yeah, thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next part 7. Okay, cheers all, bye for now.